Good evening. So, one weird thing about the film Big, at the end, after the girlfriend lady is looking at Josh and he shrinks and diesel tans and is in the giant suit and it's very comical and she's like, oh wow, I'm a criminal. After that, he goes back home and his mom is like, oh, ha ha ha, I've been made to suffer this entire film for the sake of narrative convenience. That was very funny. Anyway, I guess my son's back, so that's cool. So after that, Josh is just out with Billy, his friend, and they're just walking down the street. Isn't the mom going to be like, no more walking around down the street normally for you, because of the kidnapping situation and stuff? Get on it, lady. Anyway, that's just one of many humorous observations one might make about the film. Big, if one were a really humorous and talented observer of such things. Things have been cool. I got a visit from the visiting nurse yesterday. Visiting nurses are nice. They're trained medical professionals that come by. And they've been given the least possible information that can be given to them about your medical situation. So what they do is they check your blood pressure, which is too high, and then they sit there at the table with you for an hour and a half and make you explain your medical situation to them. And you both have a really good time. And sometimes they do a fun game where they say, alright, give me the list of your medications, and they have the paper. And they say, alright, vitrocrucin or whatever. What's that for? What's that do? And a pop quiz. And you're like, I don't know, anti-nausea? And they're like, oh, anti-nausea, is that what that does? And you're like, yeah, I guess so. And they're like, no, I think that's anti-swelling, isn't it? And you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe you have the paper. And they're like, yeah, that's anti-swelling. And it's like, oh, are you going to give me bad marks? You're not the doctor, so who cares? And they just sort of ask these questions that for you to get wrong, to be mean, to make you feel bad about yourself. I already feel bad about myself because I'm sick. I don't need them to sort of do this additional step. Other than being jerks, visiting nurses are also cool because they give you a lot of advice about fall prevention. And they tell you that if there is a problem, you should call the doctor, which is good advice, and I agree with them there. That is true. And they say if you start to leak fluid or if something smells bad, you should call the doctor, which is true. They asked me if I can dress myself and feed myself and wash myself, and I said, yeah, I can, because I can. And they asked me, could I do that before surgery? And I said, yes, I could, because I did. I did wash, dress, and feed myself before I had surgery. When I was well, I did do all those things myself. Those were all fields in which I was totally independent, and so that was cool. I can fly solo in fields of hygiene and dress up, sick or well. Place I'm staying, we have a dog. I like the dog, it's very nice, but there's an issue, which is that the people who live here sort of talk to the dog in baby talk, which I don't like. I think it's rude to the dog. I don't appreciate it. I understand that baby talk is appropriate with babies, because babies don't talk. But a dog can understand a certain amount of English. You don't need to baby talk at it. Like when you come home, you don't have to be like, oh, who's a good dog? There she is. You can just say, hello, I'm back. And the dog knows. The dog understands perfectly. You can speak respectfully to a dog and it will not get confused. Those are all of the hilarious and awesome observations I had to share with you today. And so you're welcome. Just a quick postscript. Just if you had not been aware, part of the reason I'm making these informative short films is to practice elocution and presentation, and thereby to sort of minimize the amount of wet smacking noises you hear from my mouth when I speak, and reduce total amount of sort of bizarre eye rolling and scary faces while speaking. And so, as you may have been able to observe from tonight's video, so far it's been a failure, but who knows what the future may bring. Maybe improvement is just around the corner. In small steps, we will sort of eliminate one or both of the problems. It's hard to say, but just wanted to check in, make sure that we were all on the same page. And that's cool, and I will see you guys later. Shrewd observers may be wondering if being boring is also going to be addressed along with the noise and the eyes, and it is not. That is not a medically related condition. That is not news, and so that is not currently on the list of things to correct. So if that stops, that will be purely by accident and not by intent, but I thank you for your interest nonetheless.